Well, good evening. It is an absolutely gorgeous evening out here. I don't even know why I'm wearing a sweater. I might as well be wearing a t-shirt because it is beautiful. I just fired up the truck. I got to hook on the trailer and then bring the tractor over and move some tin off of the big gooseneck trailer onto our trailer there. And of course, nothing's parked where it's got to be to make this work. Anyways, let's get to work. Actually, first, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna let the chickens back in the chicken house. They've been locked outside all day. Some of the younger ones, they've been in this little blue chicken house right here, and less inclined to go outside for whatever reason. We're like, no. Just like kids, they want to play video games and stay indoors. Having none of that. So we've had them locked out all day. So should probably let them in before evening here. The sun's just starting to dip down. So we want to make sure they get in and get into their roost nice and safe. If it gets kind of dark, chickens don't see very well in the dark, right? So we don't want anybody getting lost. Come on in. It's nice and cozy in here. All right, back to business. So first thing I got to do is flip this. I got this 3-ball hitch. It's the best invention ever because you never don't have the right hitch. But come into a pickle the other day going to Grand Prairie. I hooked onto the horse trailer when we went to get her new bed. And then I realized when we got back, like into town, all the way into town, that I never flipped this thing over. And so we pulled the horse trailer all the way to Grand Prairie with a 2-inch ball instead of the 2 5/16. And well, I'm just happy we didn't lose the trailer. But so there we were in the Kitty's parking lot, and I was just like, oh my goodness. So we got her flipped around and got home. Because we took Highway 2 north of Grand Prairie to come back on the Emerson Trail. And that is just like a complete roller coaster. There's no way we wouldn't have lost trailer on that stretch of road. So now this tin I'm getting, there's a guy, I volunteer with him on the fire department in Beaver Lodge. And he bought a lot with like a derelict house on it. He was knocking the house down. So he took all the tin off the roof. And I think he used about 6 sheets on a garden shed. So he had a whole, like the rest of the whole house roof available. So I ran to town and picked up all that tin from him, gave him a few bucks for it. And so now everybody wants to know, what are we gonna build with all this tin that we bought? And you know, what I suggested was a bigger chicken house or just another chicken house, or maybe a sheep barn or something like that. But it's not enough to build a barn, definitely not. It was only the roof of a small, maybe 800 square foot house, if that. It's a pretty small house. But it would be pretty cool to build, you know, at least a roof on a larger sheep shelter. Because the one we have, you know, at the time when we built it, we had, like 5 sheep, and now we have 17 ewes and 2 rams. So it's not. Well, it's cozy. We'll say it's cozy, but it's not huge by any means. I tell you, there's a lot of things in this world that are hard. Probably one of the hardest things is trying to back a trailer into a snowbank while you're driving on ice. But we got her in anyway. Now that that's done, I'm gonna get the tractor put away, and then I gotta kind of sort out some bread and snacks and whatnot for the chickens for the next day or two. So over the last year, we've been kind of on a bit of a mission to grow our own food, reduce the amount of food wastage we have, and you know, really be conscientious of our footprint, and in that process also the footprint of our community. We've been trying to divert some of the food waste within the community as well through a composting project that we're doing with our chickens. And so last week I put out a video regarding composting with chickens, and it discussed exactly that, how much food waste there was in the average household. And so I caught quite a bit of flack over that one because some folks weren't too comfortable with the numbers. And so there was a study done in 2017 by a reputable research company. They performed the research in Canada, and they take a representative sample of, you know, volunteer households and municipalities, and they come up with a number. And so they're very transparent. They say that it is an estimated average, and their findings were that 63% of household food waste was actually edible when it went in the trash. So you might think, oh yeah, that's a big number. That's a very shocking number. Well, in fact, yes, that's household waste, but if you're to look at grocery store waste, and since we've been trying to, like I said, divert some of this stuff from the waste stream, grocery store waste not only is I would say probably 90% of it actually edible food when it gets put in the trash. At least 50% of that is packaging. My goodness, the amount of packaging, clamshells, plastic wrap, vacuum sealing. My goodness, there's so much plastic now in our food stream that, yeah, talk about footprint. You're never going to get ahead of that. If you don't get ahead of the packaging industry, you're never going to get, any kind of leeway on the food industry. Well, so what's getting tossed out? Well, for sure, yesterday's bread, right? But there's three main categories of stuff that's gonna hit the waste stream from your average grocery store. So there's the bakery section, there's the produce section, so your fruits and vegetables, and then there's the deli, so that's all your meats. Now, if you're diverting food from the waste stream in your grocery store, I always get a chuckle out of this because there's always going to be a birthday cake in there, right? And that's totally normal because people have birthdays every day, right? Totally, understandable that maybe they bake an extra cake and it doesn't get used and it hits the trash. But you know what this is? This is a crumpet. So a crumpet, this is something that is it's kind of a staple in the UK in the aging population. You put a little bit of jam on here, maybe some butter, some honey, maybe some golden syrup. Have it as a nice little treat in the afternoon. But crumpets is not something that you would think you would have here in northwestern Alberta. So always get a chuckle when you see something like this, because this means that somebody specifically requested it. And then not only that, they're buying enough of it that the grocery store has to obviously purchase more, so much so that now they're throwing some away. Anyways, the simplest things make me laugh. But as I'm sure you well know, I can't think about crumpets unless I'm thinking about tea. And if it's thinking about tea, I better go have one. So I'll let you go for now. I hope you have a fantastic evening. We'll see you tomorrow.